My favorite quote's by Ralph Waldo Emerson. He says, "Do not go where the path may lead. Instead, leave the path and make your own trail." My path was pretty much set up for me. I excelled in sports in high school, had offers to play college basketball. I decided I'd go. First, I'd work at some summer camps, save some money. Then I'd head in there, I'd study business, I'd get a degree, I'd become really successful, I'd get a big house, and I'd get a gold watch, and everything was awesome. Except for one thing. I wasn't happy. And I started to realize that maybe the path that I was on wasn't mine at all. That maybe mine was something totally different. Like what Steve Jobs says, time is limited, so don't waste it living somebody else's life. So I started reading some inspirational books, and I realized that all I was doing was learning. I didn't want to learn inspirational quotes. I wanted to live an inspired life. And I asked myself, what could I do? Well, I could take a year off. I could travel, had some money saved. Where could I go? Well, I could go to South America. I could go to Australia. I could go to Asia. I could go to Europe. And then this voice started talking in my head. Don't do that. Don't ruin your life. Don't take a chance on your dreams. This other voice talked in my head. And it reminded me of what Ralph Waldo Emerson had said. It reminded me that if you take a chance on your dreams, then the future will just take care of itself. And I've been reading a lot about Guatemala. On one hand, I heard it was one of the most dangerous places in the world. One hand, I heard it was one of the most beautiful places in the world. I thought, I didn't want to just learn about Guatemala. I wanted to experience it. So I decided that I would start there. So come with me to Guatemala. Here we are, it's these beautiful $1 million views and these priceless smiles on these kids, but these kids have holes in their teeth, holes in their shoes, and they don't have anything. Yet they're happy. And I saw that living it isn't what you have. It's making the most of what you have, that you may have excuses, you may not have enough, but living it is making the best of what you have. And so I spent my time sitting on the curbs with these kids, realizing that that's what living it was just to be happy with what you have. I even played soccer with them. I was kicking the ball around, and I'm not even good at soccer, but I realized that living it is about getting out of your routine, doing something new. I thought, I've got to keep on my path. And I thought, I'll go to Australia. So I decided I'd head to Australia, and I want you to come into my tent with me. Here we are in my tent right off the beach. The ocean's as clear as a swimming pool, and every day I'm waking up, new experiences, meeting new people from Argentina, all the way up into Asia. And not that long after, I realized, maybe living it was about being the minority, going somewhere totally different. I was still in a first world country. I thought, I don't know, where could I go? I could go to Indonesia, I could fly to Bali. So I decided that from there I'd fly to Bali. So let's head there. Here we are, downtown Bali, and I'm walking around, and I realized that I lost my bank cards. I lost my wallet with all my cards. So here I was, living it. I didn't have any of my comforts of the first world, and luckily, I met Rudy. I told him what happened. He was trying to sell me stuff down on the corner, and he walked over, he said, "It's okay. Rudy gonna take care of you. Get on the back of my motorcycle." I said, okay. So I got on the back of this guy's motorcycle, and the next thing I knew, I was where they live, concrete shacks. We walked into his house in this little shack, and we sat on the ground. I didn't have any money. I didn't have any bank cards. And he had a few bucks, and he fed me coconut fried cow. And then he gave me the little money that he had. He said, "I want you to get a phone to call America. I want you to have food every day." And there I saw somebody that literally had nothing, yet they still wanted to give. That living it is having that willingness to make a difference in somebody's life, realizing that your life will become better by making somebody else's life better. And then one day he said, my friends and I, we want to take you to our favorite waterfall. It's going to be so awesome. We're going to head up on the mountains. I said, okay. So we got on the back of these little motorcycles, and we started heading up there. Head up to these rainforests, top of these mountains. It's pouring rain, and the green points of the mountains are starting to press into the top of the rain clouds. And we get all the way up there, and it's just incredible. All you can see is just beautiful nature. And we get to the top, to this waterfall, and I take a step, and I slip, and I fall. And I can see my whole life flashing before my eyes. And I could hear them screaming my name. And I hit the ground. And as soon as I hit the ground, the water was rushing on top of me, and I'm wondering, man, am I going to die here? Am I going to get stuck here? And I opened my eyes, and my legs were bleeding, my arm was bleeding, and I was sore. And when I rolled over, one of them named Ari, that I was traveling with, jumped off after me. Can you imagine, here you are, on the outskirts of civilization, and some guy you don't know just jumped off after you to try and save your life? That these people were living life so fully that they were willing to give their own life to make a difference. And I realized that that's how we change the world. And I realized down there that living it isn't where you go. It's what you do with what you have, that you don't have to travel around the world in order to make a difference and find yourself. That right now in front of us, we have all these opportunities. You have these opportunities to completely change the world, that the purpose of life is to just take your gift and share it with others and help other people. And I realized, man, I had something to share. How could I share it? Well, I could write a book. I didn't want to just learn about books. I wanted to write a book. So I decided I'd head home and I'd write this book. And I typed up this whole book and I got it all done. And I was so excited. I called it Into the Wind. And I was calling it that because it wasn't about going the safe route. It was about getting out of my comfort zone. It was about going against the grain. And I was so excited. I was like, this is going to be a major motion picture. We're going to watch it in the movie theater. It's going to reach millions of people. But nobody else thought so. And I got denied by literary agent after literary agent after literary agent. They had my favorite publishing company that was my dream. They said no. And I started to think, maybe dreams aren't possible. Maybe stories aren't important. Maybe I wasted my life. And I had one more agent to contact on my list. We had sent him emails and he didn't answer me. And I thought, I might as well, since I knew where he lived, drop the manuscript off at his house. And I was so scared, but I knew that living it is recognizing that fear is just a voice in your head, that you may be scared to share your gift with the world, to take a chance, but you just have to do it. And so I dropped it off at his house, and I spent the next week, didn't hear from him, trying to figure out a story or a lie I could make up to my parents why my dream didn't work out, why I was quitting. I just sat there. And then I got a phone call, and not only did they like the book, but they wanted to publish it. I got a release date for the book for April 16th of this year, and we launched the book Into the Wind, and it even made the Amazon best-selling list. And I decided, thank you, and I decided that what I wanted to do with the Prophet was to, help put some shoes on some kids' feet. That living it is realizing that we can change the world with a little bit of love and a lot of courage. That now, at 22 years old, I get to travel around the nation and I get to go and talk from elementary schools to colleges to companies, sharing my story, inspiring people, doing book signings. And all of this is possible because I'm inspired by what Ralph Waldo Emerson said. Do not go where the path may lead. Instead, leave the path. Make your own trail. Thank you.